Well, hello guys, and welcome back to another episode on the Saga channel. Today, a little bit of a different episode. If you are anything like me, then you are maybe quarantined. As you know, I live on a tiny island in the Caribbean. We are so far free of Covid19 infections. We are on day 8 of our quarantine. The upside is that in about 2 to 3 weeks from now, we can maybe be reasonably sure that nobody on the island is actually carrying the novel coronavirus, which would make this probably a very safe place to live. But just like a lot of you, we are taking it slow, staying inside. So today's video is about ways that divers can still dive into diving during quarantine times. I would like to dedicate this video though to everybody who does not have the luxury of staying inside, to everybody who is out there working, specifically the people who keep the world running, like healthcare workers 100%, but also if you're a store clerk, if you collect garbage, if you are if you're in the military or police, that's amazing, because while all of us are sitting home and that's frustrating, we are not nearly taking the amount of risk that you guys are taking. So thank you. Let's do it. Okay guys, so ways that divers can still stay active while in quarantine during this COVID-19 crisis. I made a little list here, and the first one I would say is you can sharpen your fish ID skills, right? So you don't necessarily need to be in the water to do that. I actually have 2 interesting websites. One is snorkelingreport.com. They actually have a very nice layout. You can tap on the fish and learn more about them, which is something that we can easily do from our lazy sofa. But the next time when we dive into the water and we're there with our dive buddies, we can actually impress them with our sweet fish ID skills. The Florida Museum website has also a more extensive and a bit more of an advanced fish ID page or pages. It's actually quite extensive. I would definitely look into that one. You should be able to spend many hours sharpening your skills. That one is also both salt water and fresh water, so it doesn't even matter where you're used to diving. That one is actually it's really cool. Even in non-quarantine times, that's one that I'm going to add to my favorites. Then number 2, but before we move to number 2, guys, if you do enjoy content like this, we have a whole channel full of videos, so this would maybe be a good time to consider subscribing. You can also press the like button, because that helps us, that lets me know that these videos are useful to you guys and I can make more, right? So consider subscribing. Number 2 is maybe a bit more obvious, e-learning. Guys, even if you can't get in the water, you can still support your local dive shop by purchasing some e-learning and actually getting started. Whatever level you're at, maybe you're an open water diver looking to go advanced or rescue. I particularly like the equipment e-learning from Patty. Simple, it's really not complex, so depending on where you are in your diving curve, it may be too simple. But if you're a beginning diver and you were just getting antsy to dive more and now you can't, the equipment e-learning, it has a few interactive gimmicks that are fun to look at. There are also more advanced courses. We have a lot of people who were about to start their instructor development course and we're currently halted. We can't get in the water. The e-learning is quite comprehensive, takes a bit of time anyway, and you can already purchase that either from us or from your local dive store. Definitely support those guys as well, and you can already get started, and that stays valid for 12 months after you finished it. So that's a pretty long time, right? What else can you do, guys? You can learn to edit your photos. Lots of you, if you're a diver, you probably take lots and lots of underwater photos, underwater videos, maybe with a GoPro, and those photos often turn out very green, very blue, and we all know that there's ways to tweak those to make those look better, but usually it takes a bit of time and we don't have that time. Now is the time. I've mentioned the Dive Plus app before. I'll put a link below. and I'll link to the video as well, but that one is very useful. We made some videos in the past about how to touch up your videos, how to grow your Instagram account for scuba divers. Maybe those are things that you can actually focus on now. Maybe you have a little bit more time. So I'll put links below or here or there, or however that works. The fourth thing you can do while you are quarantined is clean your dive gear. You know, even if you're not a service technician, there's a lot you can do to extend the lifespan of your dive gear. So, you know, a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of water, toothbrush goes a long way in keeping that clean. You don't even need to really disassemble anything if you don't feel comfortable with that, right? Maybe your mask around the edges usually accumulates some mold. So there's lots of little things you can do to keep that sharp. On the other hand, if you feel like your dive gear is maybe due for some servicing, especially your regulator, maybe you can still get it to your local dive shop, and maybe that is a way to support your local dive shop during these times because they don't need to get in the water to still be servicing your dive gear. And then guys, the fifth thing we can do to stay active as divers during these quarantine times is a rather neat one, I think. It's on the NOAA website, and I'll link it below. Is 360 VR virtual dive sites. It's really nice. If you have 3D glasses, there's a little or one of those cardboard holders for your phone. There's a little icon that you can tap and actually watch it like that, but all the same you can move your phone around and get immersed into a whole bunch of dive sites. It's not quite the same as diving, of course, but it's a great way to just explore a little bit underwater. Should keep us busy again for a while, couple of hours until we can get back in the water. So guys, that's the 5 ways that divers can still stay active as divers while quarantined. A little bit of a weird episode. I never thought I would be making one like this, but here we are. I really hope everybody's doing okay out there, and I can't wait to see where everybody's gonna go diving when we come out at the other end of this. Until then guys, stay home, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.